The following Best of Central Florida program is sponsored in part by Solar Ray, 3MG Roofing and Solar, Greater Orlando Realty, Karma Roofing, Universal Roof and Contracting, and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
Welcome to the Best of Central Florida. Happy weekend to you. Let's think about this for a second. You have a leak in your ceiling. You need a new roof. Very important, oftentimes very expensive project for you. Welcome in, as always, my beautiful co-host, Makaila Nichols. Makaila, how are you?
Great.
You think about that. You have a family. You see water literally coming into your kitchen. That's a scary, scary time.
That's a problem.
You need to call a roofer right away. Not a very glamorous profession if you think about it. I'm a roofer, but super important, especially those of you that own a home. You know just how important and sometimes expensive roofing can be. It is super important that you find the right roofing company. And Makaila, I see no reason we should not do the best roofing companies in all of Central Florida. Are you ready?
I am.
I think this is going to be a very important show, especially for the homeowners out there. Here's what we will do. Very quick break. When we return, the best roofing companies in all of Central Florida. Can't figure out what I love more, Solar Ray or Michael Brown's owner. Michael, how are you? It's good to have you back here, buddy.
Brotherly love.
I know. I love Solar Ray. I just think it's crazy out there, people who own a house but have not gone solar yet. What are the reasons to go solar?
Well, you're locking in your utility rate today, right? There's a 2.5% historical inflation rate in utilities. And you can lock that in today with whatever size system and whatever savings you're going to get out of that system today, is you're going to get an additional return of 2.5% per year.
You've been around since 2003 at least, maybe a little bit earlier even. A lot of solar companies have popped up, but these companies are more like sales organizations. What separates Solar Ray from the rest?
Well, I'm in this at the very beginning to try to do well by doing good, right? So that's a saying out there, and what it is, you know, of course I need to make a living, but I also want to be able to do something for the community and for my neighbors and for the rest of Central Florida. While I'm doing that, it makes me go to sleep well at night.
And while you're doing that, you're saving me money on my electricity bill, and generally speaking, quite a bit of money.
Yeah, it could be the entire bill. It's up to you. What's your budget on what you want to have as an expense? And it could be all the way down to zero, right?
Yeah.
So, and you can get loan packages and a price point where you're saving money from day one. The second that it's turned on, the second that the utilities change the meter, you can be saving money that day.
And not only am I getting a tax credit, also, I don't necessarily have to write a check at all at the beginning.
No, of course the price is always better. Cash is king,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, you can get interest rates all the way down to 0.99% still today with interest rates.
0.99 with mortgage rates where they are. That's unbelievable.
Yep.
Keep up the great work. So we love Solar Ray.
Thank
Michael,
you.
always
Love
great.
you too.
Do yourself a favor. If you have a house, you don't have solar, call Solar Ray today.
The following Best of Central Florida Makaila's Choice is sponsored in part by 3MG Roofing and Solar, Greater Orlando Realty, and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
We are raising the roof. Come on.
I'm not doing it.
Guys, come on, join me.
Come
We
on.
are raising the roof for Makaila's Choice.
Is this like a TikTok or something?
Yeah, no, it's not, but it should be.
Okay.
Anyway, we're raising the roof because it is the best roofing episode, and I am joined by my friends at 3MG Roofing and Solar. I got Kyle, Danny, and Mackenzie. Happy to have y'all here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So we were talking a little bit earlier about the tagline, and it's literally "We're on top of it." Can you explain that? The roof. We're on top of the roof, right?
We're on top of the roof, absolutely. We're on top of our business. We're on top of how we service our clients. At the end of the day, it's something that just stuck with us, and we want to make sure that we deliver great service to everybody that we do business with.
What made you want to start a roofing company here in the Central Florida area?
Roofing was something that I think is somewhat fragmented in Florida, and I think the reputation of certain roofing companies isn't the best. And so when we started this company, we set out to change that. We wanted to do something that really connected with our community right in our backyard. And we wanted to help people that maybe weren't getting the best experience in working with their local contractor. So I think that was the guiding principle, and then from there we've just been trying to grow as fast as we can.
Yeah, because especially in Florida, you know, between hurricane season and storms, like crazy things can happen to your roof, and people really need someone that they can trust, and you know, they're not just chasing the storm, so to speak.
Absolutely. There's a lot of folks that'll come into town too. So the people that knock your doors, make sure you vet them, make sure you understand who they are, realize that you're giving them $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in a 10-minute period. So do some homework, do some research.
Yeah, super important. I feel like a lot of people, I mean, I wouldn't know the first place to start, to be honest, and I think it's something when you build that trust and you build that relationship and really bring together the community to just kind of make a difference in your own roof. And speaking of, you guys do some solar too.
Absolutely. It's a new business for us. We just launched last year, and we think solar is just, you know, scratching the surface here in the state of Florida. Think about 1% of the state actually has solar. Something new to solar, actually, the industry right this minute is the new ITC tax credit just got raised to 30%.
Who doesn't love a good tax credit?
Isn't that right?
Well,
Try to pay the minimum on taxes.
yeah, so are you guys doing a lot of residential, commercial, a little bit of both?
Great question. We started out just in the residential space early on, and now we're about 50-50 split.
Wow.
So it's really taken off, and we're having fun doing it.
Well said. And I think one of the things that, again, when you hear roofing and people talk about supplies, everyone's like, oh my God, supplies. How's your relationship with, you know, with the suppliers here?
It's been fantastic, actually. We've got a great relationship with a local distributor. They take really good care of us. We really haven't had much of an issue getting what we need. We are somewhat unique, though. I think we make it easy for them. We plan our business 6 to 8 weeks out on residential roofing and then months in advance on commercial. And so, you know, we're not the roofing company calling them in the 11th hour saying, hey, I need this delivered tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't want that.
And that's pretty common, believe it or not. And so when we got into this, we realized how different that was from other businesses we had been in the past. But it's just second nature to us to give them a little bit of heads up, a little bit of notice.
Yeah, a little bit of courtesy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Mackenzie, what made you want to join the 3MG team?
One, they're partnering with my alma mater, and then the second thing was the first thing I did affiliated with this company and these guys was a charity golf tournament for one of our colleagues whose wife is battling cancer. And just for me, you know, I saw the way this community rallied around me with my leg injury and whatnot, and stuff like that isn't normal within companies, and for these guys to extend, you know, that kind of gesture to just a colleague, an employee, I mean, that's all I really needed to know to get involved. And as I've been learning, these guys are the best of the best. We're the best of the best.
Yeah, most certainly. So what do you want the Central Florida community to really rally behind and know about 3MG?
I think it's just that we are completely 100% dedicated to being a top tier, top notch, white glove service right here in your backyard. We're not going anywhere. We're dedicated to helping even the local students, right? Even UCF and our partnership with UCF is our commitment to just kind of giving back to those kids, trying to make sure that they have and that we're able to retain talent here in Orlando so that Orlando continues to grow and thrive. I think if your mission's bigger than what you do, you'll ultimately have success. And so that's really what if I had to tell anybody just a 2-second commercial, it's that we care. We're deeply rooted here. This is where our families live. This is our backyard too. And we look forward to helping you if that time comes.
Well said. Well, the Central Florida community is definitely grateful to have people like you who truly care and who kind of hold our hand throughout this process and really just, you know, that trust and that sense of security. I mean, we're talking about your roof literally over your head, so you have to trust the best, my dear friends at 3MG Roofing and Solar. Do yourself a favor, stick around, and we'll be right back with People's Choice after this short break.
Very important message for those of you that own investment properties or those of you that are real estate agents out there. Greg Mann joins me, property manager to the stars. Greg, how are you, sir?
Oh, great, thanks. How are you?
Two things going on right now. Let's say I own investment property. I don't want to be a landlord. How do you step in?
I step in and do it all for you. Basically, we're rent the house, we'll make sure you get paid, we'll maintain the house, and if you want to sell it, we'll make sure that gets worked out.
And what I love about your program is for real estate agents in this market, you have a special program you do for them to make sure that they're going to get the listing back when that person goes to sell the property.
Yep, agent gets a residual income during the lifetime of the management, and then if the owner decides to sell, we contact them back and they get to list the house.
Residual income, my understanding is you wrote a lot of checks this year to local real estate agents.
A lot, in excess of 100,000, yeah.
And also it is their name, their reputation on the line when they sell a house to someone or help someone buy a house and then they flip them over to you. They want you to do a good job, and we know you're going to do an amazing job.
Well, it's important we do a good job because it's their reputation, but past that, we do a good job anyway. We treat each house like it's our own.
I don't know how you do it, but I can tell that is your mantra, really, is every house you treat like your own. You treat the tenants well, you treat the landlords well. They literally just sit back and collect a check, and the real estate agents in this market love your program and love what you're doing. Greg, keep up the great work, buddy.
Thanks so much.
If you're an agent or you have investment properties, call Greg Mann today. You will not regret it.
The following Best of Central Florida People's Choice is sponsored in part by Karma Roofing and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
You have spoken, the people have spoken, and People's Choice this week for Best Roofing goes to our great friends over at Karma Roofing. Proud to be joined by Anoop before the show. Welcome, by the way. How are you?
Very well.
Thank
you for having me.
Before the show, I said, what is your title there? And you're like, I guess owner. You run the show. This is your vision. You've brought it to life. Karma. Karma has a meaning, maybe different to all of us, but good karma is good. Where did the name come from?
Well, I spent a lot of time in this industry, in the roofing industry, and there's always good and bad to everything, right? And I figured that I like to be on the good side, and I want to do it right and do it my way, so that's where the name Karma came from. So our thing is to do the right thing always.
Not a lot of hurricanes have rolled through this year. Still time, I guess, but there is time as well to get prepared for a potential major storm. What can I do to prep?
Absolutely. There are a lot of things that you can do. First, you can go to our website or YouTube channel and look up our hurricane preparedness tips. We've got a lot of tips on there. But one of the first thing I would do is make sure you have supplies, food, water, stuff stashed away. And then in the event of a storm actually hitting us, have your insurance paperwork ready on hand in case you do have to file an insurance claim. Those are like the go-to.
One of the reasons we wanted to do this episode, the show's designed to help the viewer at home, obviously. I wanted to do this episode, we wanted to, because I get so sick of storm chasers. We're talking about a bad storm roll through. We have guys from Alaska.
Right.
They're driving an old pickup truck, no name on it or anything like that. If I'm in the market for a new roof or even a roof repair, how do I avoid storm chasers? What should I be on the lookout for?
You definitely want to ask, you said the right things. You want to ask them if they're a local contractor, where their office is. A lot of them piggyback off of other roofing companies' license and stuff like that, and they make it work for them, but checking their license information, all that is definitely go-to. You can check with the local DBPR. They're actually licensed here in Florida.
We're in a weird time right now, obviously, with insurance claims, and there's been a proliferation, I think, of insurance claims through lawyer, through public adjuster, where there's a real fight in Tallahassee right now. How is this all going to shake out?
I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I know there's, like I said, good and bad to everything. Like there's the balance, and unfortunately, there's been a lot of issues that have raised insurance policies right now. A lot of premiums going up, a lot of people getting dropped. Fortunately for Karma, we're here to help our community as a local community roofer. We like to say that we're not adding to the opposite side and raising prices. If you have to file an insurance claim, we do understand the process and walk you through it. We don't use like assignment of benefits, contracts, which kind of take rights away from the homeowner and then sue the insurance company. That's not our model. So I'd like to say we're on the good side.
Karma. Good karma.
Absolutely.
To Karma Roofing and Restoration. But that is a question that a lot of people don't, I'm not saying commit fraud in any way, shape, or form, of course, but if we can avoid paying $25,000 for a roof because it was damaged in a storm, we would much rather have the insurance company pay for it.
Correct.
What are some of the things that balance that out, whether I can file a claim versus I've got to pay cash?
If you have the damage and you get hit by a storm, whether it's a hailstorm, windstorm throughout the year, or a hurricane, just have a good local contractor come out and take a look, and definitely get a couple of opinions. I would say, have a couple of roofers take a look, and you'll be surprised what you hear. I get a lot of clients telling us, you guys are the only company that told us we didn't have any damage. Right. And I get that all the time.
I notice a little spot in my ceiling, or maybe there's some moisture coming through. What do I do at that point?
Those are great signs. So if you have stains in your ceiling, you definitely want to call a local contractor and have us come take a look. The first thing we do is try to find out where that leak's coming from, and while we're there, we're also going to take a look at your roof to see if it was affected by storm damage.
It's not just roofing, it's also restoration. What do you mean by restoration?
So that's kind of part of our name. It just had a nice ring to it. Yeah. Honestly, we do a lot more remodeling than restoration.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We might be changing the name to Karma Roofing and Remodeling.
Well, as long as you keep the karma, we're going to understand that you're going to get good karma for hiring you as well. Do I call, let's say that I do see a leak, do I call the insurance company first, or do I call you first?
That's up to you. I would say call a contractor out first to take a look, because let's say it's not coming from your roof and you have an AC leak or something. You don't want to drag yourself into filing a claim for no reason if you don't have to.
As I said before the show, I'm proud of you. I've been hearing so much about you guys over the last really year or two. I feel like you've really burst onto the scene. Keep up the good work. My pleasure, brother.
Thank you very much.
Keep up the good job, and again, good karma. The reason why they are called karma is because they are not going to mess with you, your money, with your roof. They're going to take great care of you. Quick break. Justin's Choice is up next.
The following Best of Central Florida Justin's Choice is sponsored in part by Universal Roof and Contracting and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.
And finally today, it's time for my favorite portion of the program, not always her favorite. It's Justin's Choice, and Justin's Choice for Best Roofing goes to our great friends over at Universal Roof and Contracting. Justin, great name. How are you?
Good, sir. How are you doing?
An even better name, Corey. Corey, welcome to the show. How are you guys today?
Good. Good. Thanks for having us.
You got it.
Absolutely.
And we hear supply chain, that term supply chain all the time, and yes, it's a real thing. We understand it's a real thing, but it's also used as a crutch for a lot of businesses right now. Because of your name, because of your volume, supply chain doesn't mean the same to you as it does to some other roofing companies.
That's very true. I mean, we've been established in this community for the last 30 years. We're actually having our 30th anniversary coming up, and we've been under the same name and ownership. It's a family-owned company. We've cultivated relationships over that entire time to just give us that kind of inside edge. And while the whole world right now of distribution has been kind of turned upside down, we really have been blessed with the good fortune of great relationships, being platinum contractors with our manufacturers. So we're being allocated a lot of things in our market right now.
And then that's huge when you start thinking about people have literally leaks coming into their house. They want their roof fixed as quickly as possible, and having those relationships certainly helps your customers a lot. But I also think about how important it is to hire the right roofing company, a knowledgeable roofing company, because when you get up on that roof, there are certain things you need to look for that can make the difference in whether it's going to be an insurance claim or you're going to have to pay cash.
Absolutely, and now more than ever, you need to have your guard up out there. There's door knockers, there's storm chasers, and everybody has their place in business, but you just need to be protective of your home, and that's why you want to have experts out. I mean, we're trained in storm damage. We will give an honest assessment, and also, it's complimentary for us to come out. So when we come out to the house, we do a free roof inspection. We walk the perimeter of the home. We get in the attic. We look all the way through the process of any potentials that could be a problem with storm damage or with storms coming up.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. And what is the best way? I mean, how can I get you guys out there, and how much do I have to pay for you to come out and really assess my roof?
Well, the first thing is to schedule one. You can do that by calling 1-855-ROOF-HELP, or you can visit our website, universalroof.com. Schedule a free evaluation. It is 100% complimentary. delivery. When we come out, we're going to show up on time. A lot of times right now, people are actually surprised that we're actually coming on site. Everything's satellite measured. We'll email you an estimate, but that's not the way we approach jobs. We want to get very detailed with you, find out what your needs, your wants are, and we're actually going to customize a roofing system that's going to fill all of those for you. So complimentary evaluation is scheduled as around your convenience as well.
And a lot of times that initial inspection can be the most important part of this whole deal. And when you have, and a lot of roofing companies do this, they literally just take a satellite image and say, oh, this is what you need. I mean, how can you effectively tell someone exactly what they need to be done on their roof with just taking a Google image?
You can.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I mean, in fact, it's kind of interesting. A lot of what we call a measure call, when we go out, we spend time with the homeowner. The homeowner walks the perimeter with us. We actually spend just as much time at the kitchen table talking with them about their needs, what they love about their roof, what they don't like about their roof, what the problems are, what we can change to help it to be more efficient, all those things all the way through. So being on property and face to face is going to help obviously build trust. It's obviously going to help show expertise in what we can do, but it's also going to help us to build a scope of work that is appropriate for that project.
And part of that conversation at the kitchen table, and I noticed Universal is different than a lot of companies, building that trust at that kitchen table, that's huge, but also you build trust by not over-promising. You're honest with the homeowner.
Yeah.
How much of a difference does that make?
Hopefully all of it. I mean, expectations are huge. We're never going to overpromise and underdeliver. That's not us. We're going to make sure you understand the layout of everything that's about to happen. It's invasive. I mean, we're tearing off your roof and putting a new one on, and these are families, these are businesses, these are people's lives are going to be interrupted. So we try to minimize that best we can by being a pretty good, smooth operation. But we set those expectations so you know very clearly what is about to happen in your life.
Sometimes a roof is an urgent thing. I need it done sort of right away. I've got a leak, but yet we can't install it for a few days or a couple of weeks. We're waiting on the supplies. What can I do temporarily? And do I have to do it myself, or are you going to help me with that?
Oh, no, we get sweaty. we get sweaty. It's hot out there. But no, we do everything we can to mitigate. If it is something that's going to lean towards insurance, sometimes we can, recommend that the homeowner get the insurance company to tarp the house prior to. But there's plenty of times. I mean, our trucks are equipped with tarps and nails and peel and stick, and
that's it.
All that, So there's times that we hop up and just, try to get the problem taken care of, so it buys them a little bit of time to actually get it taken care of.
Keep up the good work, guys. Corey, you're coming back for brunch next week. We're doing Best Brunch. Can you come? Can you join us just for lunch?
I'm an expert here in Central Florida on brunch.
And Justin, obviously, what a fantastic name you have. Of course, you do a great job in the roofing business. So good to meet you guys. Keep up the great work.
Thank
you, now. Thanks.
Thank you.
It's been really an amazing show. And roofing, while it doesn't sound super sexy, roofing is a very, very, very important profession. This is protecting our home, our biggest investment. Great job to you, as always.
Thank you.
And especially to our WKMG-based crew, Anand's here, Phillips here, all of the guys here in our live studio audience, of course. We love you. Thank you so much. Do yourself a favor. Hit record series now, and we'll see you next week for more Best of Central Florida.
The preceding Best of Central Florida program was sponsored in part by Solar Ray, 3MG Roofing and Solar, Greater Orlando Realty, Karma Roofing, Universal Roof and Contracting, and Sophila Radio and Television Productions.